Good afternoon and welcome. This is Matthew Lindsay with Precision Home Group here in Anchorage. Coming to you live today to talk to you about real estate. We are doing a mini series right now on commercial real estate. So we started with an introduction to commercial real estate as a whole, talking about every type of real estate there is as it relates to commercial. So we talked about industrial land, office space, we talked about multifamily, we talked about retail space, we talked mixed use, mixing them all together, and all the other different types. So we did an intro on that, then we dug into retail. We spent a couple days talking about the ins and outs on retail, how you should look at it from a buyer's perspective, from an investor's perspective, a user's perspective, and a seller's perspective. So we went really deep into that, and now we're going to start in on multifamily. So I've actually done several videos on multifamily. If you followed me, watched any of my content, you know it's something that I'm passionate about, something that I love because it's a real asset and it produces income. There's lots of different reasons to love multifamily. It's consistent, produces cash flow, if done correctly. So we're going to today just go into an introduction to that. We're going to go into an introduction of multifamily. Then what we're going to do is we're going to spend a couple days digging deeper into different sections, different ideas, concepts of multifamily real estate. So we're going to do that, but we're going to do that methodically instead of just kind of popcorn style going back and forth in between different ideas. So today is an intro to multifamily, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through the commercial strategic analysis. Now this is a way to go through any type of property, whether that's residential or commercial, a way to go through methodically through the due diligence of that property. Now we break that down into 4 different things, 4 different items, 4 different tasks to complete. When you're looking at a property to purchase, to invest in, to do anything with, you need to follow these 4 steps. So the first and foremost is going to be, what is the market doing? What is going on with comps in the area? What is going on with the real estate industry and market in your area? Second thing we're going to look at is, what is the location and site of that property? So we're looking at the location, what's surrounding it, what's going on in that area. And we're looking at the site specific. Hey, where is that property sitting, and what is there that we need to know about that site, that building, or whatever type of real estate we're purchasing. So that's number 2. Number 3 is going to be the political and legal. Okay, we're going to look into different things. We're going to look into things like zoning. We're going to look into things like easements. We're going to look into all these different types of things that may prohibit a use of that property, that if we didn't look into those things, we would have no idea. We're going to dig into that a little bit deeper. So we're also going to look at the financials of the property. We're going to dig into what to look for, what to keep an eye out for, what to expect, and where things need to be for you to move forward with this purchase. So those are the 4 things. We talked market, which, we're going to be looking at, what is a market? Vacancy rates, right? If we're talking multifamily real estate, what is the average vacancy rate for that market area? That is something you need to know. And what is the market, what is the vacancy rate for the building that you're looking at? That's getting the site location, but we need to know the market vacancy rate. What are the cap rates in that area? What is a solid cap rate? That way we can compare that cap rate against what is the property producing. We're also going to be looking at trends. How has that market been acting in the last 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, 5 years, 10 years? What type of real estate cycle is that market in? And are you buying this at the best time possible? Okay, so that's going to be the market, the location and site, the physical attributes of that building. We're also going to be looking at, hey, if we have a location, well, who are our tenants going to be? What is the housing demand in that area? Is it saturated? Are we purchasing a building in an area where there is many different buildings, maybe some new construction as well that's been recently delivered to the marketplace? And if so, is that affecting the vacancy rates? Are they much, much higher because of that? So these are the things that we need to know, that if you didn't do your research and you just go and buy a property, you'd have no idea that you bought a losing property. A great piece of property, but losing because of the market, right? Also the political and legal. We talked about zoning. There's different types of zonings, and it takes quite a bit to go change those zoning requirements for a property. So are you willing to do that? Do you need to do that? Also looking at everything from easements to setbacks. Also, hey, with the zoning, is there if you're doing multifamily in downtown, do you have parking for that? Are you required to have parking for that? Are you close enough to a transit center so you don't need it? Or are you going to have to go rehab a building, redevelop it because it was never built with the requirement for that parking, or can you get that grandfathered in? So there's all these different concepts and ideas that you have to pay attention to. What's the last one? That's financials. So we talked about this briefly, but for financials for a property, I want to be looking at, hey, what did it do the last 12 months? What's that profit and loss? What is all the expenses in the last 12 months? Also, I would like to look at the last 3 years of income. Have they been making money? How much money have they been making? And is it consistently growing? Is it consistently falling? What's the trend with the income over the past several years with that property, right? I'm also going to be looking for profit and loss statements. That's going to be extremely important as I look at what's been going on. Also, what I'd like to do is it profitable in its current state? Is it making money right now? If yes, what can be done to create more income with it? If no, why is it not producing income? And can I, as an owner, investor, developer, go in and start making money with that product? Is there something that I can do? If not, if there's not something that I can do, then it's a no-go, right? If it doesn't make money, if it doesn't cash flow, it's not something I want to look into. Also, are the rents at market rate? If they're not, why? Can we raise those, and can we bring more income to the building, to the property? If the rents are above market rate, you have to ask yourself why. Did the current owner just go bring whoever he could to fill those units so that he can claim he had a higher occupancy? That's not a good situation to be in. You have all these different peoples, not background checks, not all this stuff, and now you may have some tenants that are undesirable because of that. Also, what is the worst case scenario for this building? Okay, so you need to calculate what's the worst case, what's the worst thing that's happened in this building in the past several years, and if I had a couple years like that, if that played out consistently for the next 2 or 3 years, could I survive this purchase? Could I survive this real estate? If not, you need to be looking at, okay, what improvements need to happen, what things need to happen to make sure that I can, and if not, then is this a no-go situation? So these are all different types of the strategic analysis that we're talking about. We talked about market, location, political and legal, and financials, all 4 steps. We're going to spend a day on each one of them as it relates specifically to multifamily real estate. So stay tuned, come join us every day about this time, and I look forward to sharing this information with you. If you have any questions at all, feel free to shoot me a call, shoot me a text, shoot me an email, direct message, or just put it in the comments below. I'll definitely get back to you. So thanks for joining. I appreciate you joining in, watching this today. I'll see you tomorrow.